That's a vibe right there. Oh, yeah. You know, once upon a time, I was at the mall, and I went to a Journeys shoe store, and I was trying on all these shoes, and none of the shoes fit. They were all too small. I felt like a giant. I was in there for about 35 minutes until I realized I was at a Journeys for kids, not the adult store. 35 minutes before I realized this. I love the chorus to this song. So good. But so I'm in there. I realize that I'm in the wrong Journeys. So I go down to the adult Journeys, which is otherwise known as the regular Journeys. And I find the shoes I need. But while I'm trying on some shoes, this song was playing on the music videos. And I was like, who is this band? I just had gotten hired up here. I think it was like 2014, maybe 2015. And so I looked this band up, and it said they were from Nashville. And I was like, I have to get this band on the local buzz. I have to. So they came up many a times. Massive fan of this band. Jet Black Alley Cat is the name of the band. The hook. It's got a hook, man. Very cool stuff. But one thing I always loved about this band is they came on the show many times. And people would always ask me, is that band really themselves? Are they just that cool? Because when you're around Jet Black Alley Cat, you definitely get this vibe that they're just really a genuinely cool bunch of dudes in the most honest sense of the word cool. And I would always answer the same. I'd say, you know what? Jet Black Alley Cat invented cool. So of course, those guys are cool. And to me, to be a band in this town is not easy. I mean, these guys toured all over the place, so I consider them more of a national band at this point in time. But they toured everywhere. And to me, to be yourself sometimes unapologetically is tough to do. You know what I mean? It's kind of strange thing that being yourself is controversial these days in a lot of ways. For instance, a few days ago, Michael Knowles shared a really funny tweet of mine on his show. I'm a massive fan of Michael Knowles. Can't really talk about that too much in public because he's kind of controversial. But I don't really care, obviously. So Jet Black Alley Cat is calling it quits for a while. But tonight I got Joe Jet on the show. We're going to play some songs of theirs. Talk about what the band has been through in the last year, why they're calling it quits. We're going to relish a little bit in the memory. It's going to be a fun time. I love this band. We're going to miss Jet Black Alley Cat. I'm Andy Herrin. This is the Local Buzz. I got Joe Jet live on the phone. Dude, how have you been, my man?
Good, man. How about you?
Doing great, man. It's good to have you on the phone, dude. It's been a long time. I can't even think of the last time you guys were up here. It's been like, what, 2 years almost at this point?
Dude, maybe 3. I feel like maybe it was 2018.
It was right before you guys played Mercy Lounge, I believe. So that was 2018.
Summer of 2018, I'm pretty sure.
That has been a minute. A much different time in the world, I must say. Which I wanted to ask you. Obviously, we're talking about, Jet Black Alley Cat. You guys are, calling it for a while. I'm always going to say for a while. I feel like you guys will be back. But I feel like everything was going pretty stellar for you guys leading up to 2020. You guys were kind of one of those bands, like the bands that come on the show that I consider road dogs. You were one of those bands, and all of a sudden 2020 comes along, and you just can't tour at all. How was it for Jet Black Alley Cat a year ago right now whenever you just could not go on the road? What were you guys at mentally with that?
Like you said, we've been a band that has been built completely off playing shows. Like, most of our records have 5 songs on it, 6 songs on it. But we've been, built our relationships with the people that like us and follow our band have been built in the live setting, in the room. And I don't know, man. It was just when that hit, it really changed our mindsets. We were kind of in a tough phase of our life at the time. We just come off the Black era, which was probably the hardest point of our lives. I got really sick in that time. Oh, wow. And we had, just a lot of things going against us. But we didn't get to play those songs live. And that was kind of like a tough thing for us because we felt like that was where our heart was. We poured a lot into that, like, small record. And, when everything hit, it kind of stalled us out. And without being able to play shows, I feel like that, really sent us on the trajectory that we are now with this kind of calling it quits, I would say, for us right now.
Who was the first member of the band, like, whenever to bring that up as far as, like, let's maybe take some time away from this? And how did that conversation go over? Because I feel like when bands make a decision like this, at least in my experience, there's always like 1 or 2 people that feel one way and one feel the other. Who exactly brought up calling it quits, and how did it go over at that conversation?
Yeah, we were kind of split. It was kind of like right after, the end of 2019, we played a show at the End, which is one of our favorite venues. It was packed out. It was stacked in there. It was hot, and we played that show. And I don't know, after that show, I just had a gut feeling, man, that I just didn't know if we'd be able to see the stage again. I don't know why I felt that way, but I did. And at that time, I was actually moving away. I was actually moving out of the city. I needed a break from the city. So that was kind of me that probably initiated the conversation. But I'd say between one or two of us, two or three of us felt pretty strongly that we needed to move away and take some time, and that the others kind of just, we've just been five guys who've trusted each other and all been on board at the same time. So there was no hard feelings. There wasn't really a ton of, I guess, animosity in the decision. It was more so just kind of we all just trusted each other and we knew what would work out would work out.
It's such a rare thing to find bands that can know when it's time and be cool with, okay, let's put this to rest for now, because I feel like there's always, in my experience, again, at least there's always been like animosity or bands like blow up and stuff. I will say, you guys remind me, have you watched the Tragically Hip documentary that used to be on Netflix for a while?
I haven't seen it, no.
It's really good. Their situation was much different, but it was the basic idea of a band forming and then a band. It was almost like a band's like a hot air balloon, and most hot air balloons crash and the bands blow up, but somehow the Tragically Hip successfully landed the hot air balloon, as that was their pun. And I kind of feel like that's the case with you guys, because then you're putting out, it just came out on Friday, Mad Disco 70s Lovers, and you shot the videos and stuff, and it's such a great EP, man. Like, the songs are great. I've been spinning them on the show, and it's right up there with all the other Jet Black Alley Cat stuff you've ever put out. But how does it feel? Like, how's the fan reaction been? Because I feel like it's inevitable there's going to be some sadness.
Dude, there's been a lot of outpour just in terms of people expressing how much the band has meant. And I think ultimately that's what gives me the most gratitude, is knowing that at the beginning we wanted to go into this trying to make something that mattered. I don't know, somehow in this wild, crazy dream that we made a reality, I think it did matter. And that's shown with people expressing how much it's meant to them from all different cities, from all different places across the world, expressing that. Yeah, but I think people are stoked about the record. I think people like it. I think it's different. It's definitely different. There's from the intro song to being its own little thing to Dangerously Cool that comes out and just rocks, all the way to Paralyzed, which is kind of like our first ever chase at like this weird R&B song. So, it has variety, and I think it kind of sums up everything that we've done as a band, which is we've never given ourselves limits, and we always tried to make something original. And obviously everybody has their influences, but we always tried to make something original. And I think people are appreciating that, and I think it'll actually live on for longer than maybe it is right now.
What's your thoughts, Joe, on like farewell shows? Because I feel like I've seen a lot of farewell shows, and it always has a weird kind of sad vibe, but also cool at the same time. But are you bummed you guys can't do one last big hurrah, or are you happy that maybe this is just the way to do it?
Dude, I'm kind of torn. I'm super bummed that I didn't get to play the Black Era songs. Those songs meant so much to us. Yeah. This record that we made here, it was built a little different. Just the way it went about was so much different than any other record we made. But I was bummed about the Black Era, not being able to play those songs. But now these kind of coming out, like, I still have this energy in me that wants to step on that stage one more time and give it 8 go-away shows, and we may consider that at some point in the future, but they will be, I don't know, I'm determined to not let it be like this parade of, the parade of death. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to be that. I just want it to be, if we played more shows, if that time ever came, which is something that I think we would consider, but it'd be a very minimal set of shows, and they would kick ass, dude.
I think the last time I saw you was probably, I would say, at Mercy Lounge in 2018.
Which was a great show,
dude, and I was like glowing with pride, because you guys are one of those bands like that I've watched grow, and they've been consistent. They've come up here, and they've put out consistently great stuff. And you guys are definitely one of those 5. And so I remember being at that show, and I think the new Schematics opened up, which ironically was another band that I would put on that list. And when I watched that crowd just going absolutely nuts for you guys, I was just like, this is so cool to see, because there's nothing cooler than something just be a band doing their own thing and people catching up to it. And I've always said that about you guys. So it was just really cool to see that. What's life after Jet Black Alley Cat looking like for you? Or have you even really thought that far yet?
We're all kind of different phases of our life. I think you'd see people continue in music. I think you'd see people kind of venture into new phases of their life. Zach, our guitar player, he just had his first child, a gorgeous little girl named Ellie Rose.
Oh, it's awesome.
So he's navigating dadhood currently. So yeah, we're all in different phases, but I I can most likely assure you that this will not be the end of some sort of artistic creation coming from different ones of us. But that's all I really want to say about it. I kind of want to just like relish into this moment currently.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. I think that's what matters. And I think if anything good can come from the whole 2020 madness that was 2020 is just the idea of exactly that, relishing in the moment, because these moments are so fleeting and so fast. And the fact that, you know, as one former tour musician to another, you know, I feel like we both, in a way, is almost like we took it for granted. Like there was such a world that we got to do. And it's crazy that it's gone now, and I hope it comes back someday. But if it doesn't, I'm always thankful that we got to be a part of it, like at all.
So true, man. It's wild to think that something that felt so constant, it's like you said, we were road dogs. That felt so constant, we haven't been able to do. And honestly, I don't think music will look the same. So yeah, I'm kind of with you to be grateful for what we have been able to do.
I really appreciate you joining me tonight, and I will just say one last thing. Like I've always. I just, maybe I'm old, but I just love whenever bands are just unapologetically themselves. And I think you guys were, and I really mean this, one of the epitomes of that in this town. And so it was always great to have you guys up and to see you guys grow and to watch the rest of the world and the city catch up to what you were doing was one of the coolest things ever to see. And so I'm personally pumped for whatever you guys do next, but I think I'm with you too. Let's relish in the moment and let's just enjoy the records as they are. And then whatever happens, happens. I love that.
Dude, well, I appreciate you, Andy. I'll say it again. Nobody has supported us more than you. I appreciate that. And I'm thankful for this city giving our band a chance, because that's what it does. It gives people that are chasing dreams a chance to find them. And we made ours a reality, dude. I mean, maybe a lot of times you maybe don't reach the point that you envisioned at the start, you know, but through all of it, through the madness, I think you find, I don't know, what it's really all about. And that's what we're the most thankful for. So we appreciate you and appreciate 102.9 The Buzz for playing the tracks, and everybody who's listening to it that has a dream, go chase that, man.
And I think right there is the point. That's a true testament to what music is supposed to be about. Joe, thank you so much for hanging out tonight. Long live Jet Black Alley Cat. Before Joe goes, I wanted to play one more song by them because I love this band, Nightlife. Jet Black Alley Cat on 102.9 The Buzz.